Peter Joseph has now made a Zeitgeist Addendum, another 2-hour film, very well done. And he did this on his own, though. It's excellent. And I agree with about 90% of what is in the film. I also think that it's another form of orthodoxy to make fun on a high horse of religious groups and people who are religious. But I think that in a way it actually divides people that both films have decided attacks on religion, especially Christianity. And I'm allowed to have that view and say that I don't particularly agree with that. I don't hate Peter Joseph because of his views. I don't look down on him. I don't even judge him. I just am allowed to have my view that I think that that is itself a little bit closed-minded. That doesn't mean that I buy into every superstition out there. And conversely, people like to start. So with that said as my opening statement, I want to bring Peter Joseph up on the air and let him have an opening statement about himself, Zeitgeist, and where all of this is going. Peter, great to have you here.
Thank you, Alex. I appreciate you having me on. And I'm glad you pointed out what you did. I think a lot of people listening to this cast are going to sit there waiting for some type of duke out between you and I. And debate is really an infantile disposition. I think discussion and open discussion is what we need to engage in. Listen to the first Zeitgeist, I make it extremely clear about the interests of the international bankers.
Look, I overall think your film is healthy and good and thought-provoking and great. I'm hoping here, and I'm sure you've got things you can teach me, to open up avenues of discussion and refinement, and then I'll come in with some of my primitive musings here. My feeble mind will try to grasp it. But again, I want to say overall, I think your film's healthy and thought-provoking.
All right, well, the first thing we need to discuss is the monetary system itself and the system that is underlying it, or the belief system that is perpetuated by this structure. The greatest failure of our society for thousands and thousands of years is to not address the root causes of human behavior, and the monetary system has created one of the worst behavioral complexes that society has ever seen. So the basis of this argument is that we have to have a new system that gets rid of these tendencies. This thing called the New World Order that people talk about all the time, and I actually would like you to come back on the air and answer a question for me, and that is, what is the New World Order as you define it, Alex?
What is the New World Order as I define it? It is a hereditary clan that rules through the fraudulent fractional reserve monetary banking scam that operates through intelligence systems and shadow governments.
And their goal is what?
Their goal is hyper-dominance, to control the past, the present, and the future, to set up a worldwide police state by manipulating people's primitive fears with manufactured terror threats, biological threats, chemical threats. Their end game is to exterminate. Well, most of them now say 99% of the population. The public documents say 80%, and to create then a machine utopia where the elite and their progeny go to the stars. It is a worldwide eugenics cult that is in control of most of the resources on the planet, and is eradicating the family free market, demonizing the free market by claiming this corrupt system they have is a free market.
Let's step back to my original question, which was about the New World Order. So basically, I
told you what they are. They're hereditary kings who learned how to go underground.
I'm commenting on this. This is why I wanted to ask the question. Basically,
well, I thought you were posing it again. You said I go back to my original question.
I just want to go back and address it because you've gone on a nice tangent, which I appreciate, but you've moved away from what my original response was going to be.
Well, it's a complex world, takes complex solutions. I'm giving you actually analyzed information, things that have been thought out.
Of course. Well, let's
not general ideas.
Let me comment, if you don't mind.
Here's an example. I try not to be that competitive and lift people up and bring them in. And then I find out as soon as they think they're a big shot, they turn around and attack, primitively thinking in competition, if they knock me, the king monkey, off in this movement, that somehow that will make them the king monkey. But that isn't the case, because in reality, I'm not even, the king monkey. How does a garden spider know how to spin a web? I mean, what are you... let me tell you, bro, you got some major issues that are wrong, and I'm telling you, you're influential. You're influential, and that's a good thing, because the alternative needs to become, the majority, and I'm all for this, but I'm telling you, and I'm not even looking to argue with you here today. I'm just telling you, man, does the mommy spider teach the spider how to do that?
Look, humans are very different from other organisms on this planet. We have the ability to think and create. Our instincts can be changed, whatever that means. There are no actual human instincts, and I have tons of science to back this up.
You're missing it. I agree with you. I believe that separates us from the rest of the animal kingdom. You're acting, you and your, because I've been into that evil economy, that corrupt, that bad, that anti-human, that suppressing, grabbing some black kid because he was caught with cocaine the government shipped in when he's 14 years old because the MTV tells him it's cool with the bling culture. There is evil, and I will declare abortion evil. I will declare us special. I will declare us a divine species in the image of God, and I will not let the technocrats or anybody else tell me that, because I know we're going to the stars, and I know our destiny is great, and I know a little black kid having pesticide tested on them until they die is evil.
Sure, but that evil has a source, and that's what you fail to realize. And that source can be addressed through the environment and conditioned out of. And until you realize that, your irrational tirades are not going to help anything. You're going to be...
It's not irrational. It's not irrational. It is my instinct with the intellectual overlaid into the animal propulsion system to drive the species and to rally my fellow humans to come out of their cocoons and resist the tyranny. It was talk of utopia that killed 200 million people in the last century. We're going to skip this break. Yeah! All right, go ahead. You got the floor.
Well, I'm glad we are having a discussion as opposed to a debate, Alex.
You've been engaging in low-level monkey behavior. You've been debating. Don't say I'm the only primitive.
No, I'm not debating. I'm trying to present ideas, but you keep cutting me off and projecting what you think is true.
You know what is true.
Alex, let's be mature here. What I'm suggesting is it's been proven by evidence continuously. You base your assumption on the fact that we've always lived in scarcity, yet you don't recognize that. You don't realize that the human...
Without that drive of scarcity, our key propulsion system is lost to go to the stars.
No, that's ridiculous. What are you talking about?
I think there are subgroups of humans who are predating, engaging in predator activity against their fellow humans, like we are a subspecies that deserves to be fed on, not just for free, paying to give it to people, paying to be a slave. Oh my! But see, when you do it, it's loving. When I do it, it's bad. Explain that to me.
And it's getting really annoying to me. So why don't you step back a second and listen to what I actually said? I really appreciate it if you actually let me respond, because I have a very simple train of thought I'm luring here.
Look,
you're jumping off on cliffs, man. I don't appreciate it.
Hey, Peter, it sounds to me you're another one of these intellectuals who will say vicious, aggressive things and then piss their pants if anybody else... Hold on a minute. Piss their pants if anybody else says anything half as mean back to them. Okay? And now I'm really going to do a critique of you, and now I'm getting out the fine-tooth comb. So get ready.
Realize that I've said nothing negative.
Yeah. Hey, listen, here we go.
What have I said negative?
Hey, what you don't realize, I've said 100 times on air, a lot of people have nice, sweet pit bulls and Rottweilers, and one day it bites their child's face off. So I don't understand. I really don't want to make this a fight, and I don't want to get...
You're not acting like you, man. I'm really offended that you're yelling at me because I'm just presenting ideas.
I was yelling excitedly here on air. And so what I'm saying is you're a good guy. I believe you're a nice guy who means well.
You're sitting there telling me I'm a good guy, right? And off the air, you come on and you tell me that I'm one of these intellectual elites that pisses his pants. No,
that was on air. That was on air, bro.
Well, great.
We've been on air the whole time.
What is this?
Wrong again. That was on air. That we were yelling at each other. Okay, I am trying to be nice here, and I understand you're in this view that you're so intellectual and so sweet and loving that you're just this higher podhead alien, and I'm this lower Neanderthal down here. I understand all that. Us Texans, I'm crapping in an outhouse out here every 5 minutes. My point is with you is that I haven't been here trying to shoot you down or attack you, and I said on air about the pissing in the pants. Okay, so go ahead.
Well, sure, fine.
Wrong again.
You're being extremely irrational with this because I haven't said anything to insult
No,
you.
I just said I think you're a nice guy and a smart guy, and you came back with an aggressive thing. Unless you
I
just
still don't appreciate your insults.
Well, I wasn't implying or apologizing for what I said.